But the number of people getting married is on a steady decline, according to the statistics, with the number of church weddings falling steadily over a decade. But what difference does it make when the royal family have a wedding? Does it suddenly inspire people, into marriage and think, well, I want to get married in church like the royals did? Does it make marriage more attractive to young people? Well, Michaela Hyde is from the Marriage Foundation, which campaigns to promote marriage as the key to social stability here in the UK, and joins me. Good morning.
Good morning.
So first things first, what did you think of yesterday's royal wedding?
Oh, I loved it. I'm a complete romantic, so I thought it was fabulous. I enjoyed every moment of it. I sat there with my kids, and we all, oohed and ahed in the right places. But certainly the actual ceremony itself, I thought was phenomenal. Certainly the address given by Michael Curry was something like we've never seen at a royal wedding. And there was a real energy to what he said. So, yeah, brilliant.
Now, the naysayers aside, because obviously there are a lot of people, those who are anti-royal will just, moan about the cost of it and this, that and the other. But what, for those in the country who kind of bring it together, we like to do the old flag waving, get out the bunting and everything. What's the actual effect of a big royal wedding like this?
Yeah, it's interesting actually because after William and Kate got married in 2011, there was actually a huge increase in marriages in the following year. So in 2012, in the first quarter, there was an increase of 25% of marriages and 13% in the second quarter. And we've not seen anything like that since the war. So there was a really big impact. And I would suggest that certainly for Meghan and Harry, who are a very popular couple, that we'll see a similar impact on our sort of marriage rates. And I think a big part of that is that people want reliable love. We all want reliable love. We want a love that's going to work and one that's going to last. And we aspire to that. And we see this incredible sort of day yesterday. And people see something there and think, actually, this is brilliant to see. This is something I would like. And maybe they sit next to each other on their sofa and say, should we do this? I don't know. But clearly, there has been an impact in the past. And I think we can expect to see the same in the future. And it does demonstrate that external events can influence private decisions. And that's why at the Marriage Foundation, we do keep campaigning. We want to push forward the message that we think marriage is good for society. It makes such a difference in stability, in families and so forth.
So what's the fundamental difference then with a royal wedding as opposed to a celebrity wedding? I mean, someone could argue that in this day and age, the younger royals maybe are classed as celebrities, but it does seem to have this galvanising effect, and more people are, interested in a royal wedding than, say, the biggest celebrities. But as you said, it comes at a time when fewer people are actually getting married and staying married.
Yeah, I mean, I think partly with the royal wedding is that there's a sense of ownership that the nation had. There are those who aren't royalists who are not bothered and won't watch it and all the rest of it. But I do think there is a sense of ownership that people have in the way you don't have with a celebrity couple. If you like, there's a feeling that the royal family belong to us. And so it's part of what excites us and what we're about. I think in terms of the actual sort of impact of marriage rates and the fact that statistically they're going down, what's interesting is that among high income earners, that's actually not the case. Sort of people who are, say, earning 43k and above, 87% of those are actually married, and they continue to marry. So there really isn't a shift there at all. Where we're seeing a change is with low income earners. So people on sort of 16k and below, that's where there's been a real change. And actually, it saddens me because with marriage, with the choice to marry, there's that point of commitment. And that's one of the fundamental key points of marriage, is that you make that decision to commit to each other from the very outset. Often if you are cohabiting and you start life together that way, there isn't that point of decision. The two people in that relationship haven't necessarily sat down and said, let's spend the rest of our lives together. This is a forever commitment. And that makes such a difference to relationships working and lasting and providing the stability that families need.
I mean, some would say, we're living in a changed society. So, why does the Marriage Foundation campaign to promote marriage? And in that, is it specifically, heterosexual marriages, or are you also, happy to promote, same-sex marriages?
I mean, ultimately, what we're about is the commitments element. So marriage, obviously, sort of heterosexual marriages are what we've seen over the how many years, and same-sex marriages is something that's quite recent. What we're here to do at the Marriage Foundation is to promote the commitment of a marriage, that point of connection of saying, yes, we want to stay together. And I think that when you're looking at relationships that are outside of marriage, our statistics demonstrate that actually the stability isn't there in the same way. So, for example, children who are when they reach the age of 15, only 50% of them will be living with both parents. Those that are, their parents will be married. So 93% of those children living with both parents are going to be with a married couple. So clearly that makes a huge difference to the relationship working. Interestingly, the couples who are cohabiting, they make up sort of 19% of all couples with dependent children, but actually account for all family breakdown. So the marriage makes a difference, that point of commitment, and that's what we're campaigning for. That's what we want to promote and say, we're going to give the best outcome for our children. Things like actually achieving well in school, mental health, well-being, all of those are greatly increased when children grow up in that environment with both of their parents. And typically that will be marriage, because that's a relationship that keeps lasting.
Thank you very much. That's Michaela Hyde from the Marriage Foundation.